That, ladies and gentlemen, is our basement floor. Let's see how we got here. Okay, so today was a huge milestone for our forever home, pouring the basement and the garage floors. The first thing they did was drill into the existing foundation walls and epoxy rebar into place. That ties the new slab into the foundation, helping to keep everything locked together and reducing the chance of the floor shifting independently over time. Then they laid the rebar out in this grid pattern across both the basement and the garage floor. Like we talked about in one of our previous videos, rebar is what adds tensile strength to the concrete. Now, obviously, we've seen this pump truck before when we went to pour the basement walls, but this massive boom is what reaches down into the basement and it allows an operator to control it remotely from above. Instead of trying to get the concrete trucks close enough to the foundation or wheelbarrowing that concrete all over the job site, the pump sends the concrete exactly where the crew needs it. Down in the basement, the guys spread it evenly as it comes out of that hose. One thing that you'll see them doing is lifting the rebar as they place the concrete. That's really important because the steel needs to sit within the slab, not just rest on that vapor barrier and gravel underneath it. Pulling it up as the concrete fills in helps position it closer to the middle of the slab where it can actually do its job and reinforce the floor. The guys are moving really quickly, but there is a lot happening all at the same time. Placing the concrete, spreading it to the right depth, keeping the rebar in position, and starting to level the surface before the concrete begins to set. At this point, they're about halfway across the basement with just over 2,000 square feet to pour in total for the garage and the basement. Now here's a close-up look at what's called a power screed. It has an engine and a long vibrating bar that rides across the surface. The vibration helps settle the concrete, level it out, and bring it closer to its final elevation. You can also see the crew pushing concrete ahead of the screed so that it actually has enough material to work with as it moves forward. The goal is a smooth, level slab with no low spots. Now, this big thing that you see right here that looks like a giant dust mop, it's actually called a bull float. Basically, its job is to smooth and level it out. It's used on the freshly poured and wet concrete to flatten high and low spots. Basically, what it's doing is it's pushing the heavier aggregates down while drawing up the fine liquid cement or the quote-unquote cream to the top for finishing. You'll want to make sure that your crew does this. And here they are in tandem. Now, if you notice, there's some PVC sticking up out of the concrete in the bottom left-hand corner. What the heck is that? Well, that's the rough-end plumbing for a future basement bathroom so that it's already in place beneath the slab. Better to do it now than later. We also have two floor drains. One of those is intended to handle the condensate from the HVAC or heat pump system, while the other is near the walkout entrance as an emergency drain just in case water would ever make its way into the enclosed walkout area. And there is our remote controller again. Up in the far right-hand corner, you can see two crocks. One is for the septic system and one is for the sump pump. That sump pump crock is also going to give us another drainage point in the basement because in the future, it's going to be walled off as part of our root cellar. Can't wait for that. And here's the final shot of that screed machine before it makes its way out the basement door. Here you can see he's disassembling the vibration bar from the machine so that he can get the whole thing out the door. And notice that they're going to do a hand trowel around the drain near the walkout door. They're creating a subtle slope toward the drain so that if water ever does reach this area, it has somewhere to go instead of pooling all over the floor. Once the basement was in good shape, they moved on to the garage. The process is very similar. The concrete comes in through the pump truck, the crew spreads it out, keeps the reinforcement where it needs to be, and starts leveling it right away. It is amazing how different the house actually feels when it has real floors. Up until this point, we had the excavation, the footers, the foundation walls, and all the ceiling work, but it was full of gravel, and this is when the space actually started to feel like a home. And here they go with that power screeder again. Let's listen in. And there she goes putting on the final touches with the bull float to bring all that cream up to the top. Here's a quick look at both the house and the basement garage floors underway, but we're not done yet. Let's see what's next. After the concrete had time to sit and firm up, about an hour in this case, they brought in the power tools. These are called power trowels. They finish the concrete surface by smoothing and densifying the top layer. The purpose is to provide high friction and pressure to seal the pores, push down the aggregate, bring all that fine cement cream to the surface, and create a hard, smooth, glass-like shine. Now, rain at this stage can be a major problem. Too much water hitting fresh concrete can weaken or damage that surface, interfere with the curing process, or leave behind a rough or dusty finish. And honestly, weather had me really nervous. We had severe storms the week before, which delayed everything. Then the forecast called for rain again on the day that we rescheduled. The concrete crew was coming from about 2 hours away, so they called us the night before. We had to make the call by 5 o'clock Monday morning about whether or not they should make the trip. We went to bed watching the forecast, woke up hoping for the best, and thankfully, the rain got pushed back. We got the concrete poured and finished before the weather moved in. You can see Sam was especially relieved and excited. And there it is, freshly burned in concrete. It's all done, and guess what? Just in time for a light drizzle of rain. God had her back on this one. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed that. If you're getting any value out of this content, or if you just enjoy following along with our Forever Home Build series, I really hope that you'll consider liking and subscribing. That way we can beat the algorithm and get this content out to as many people and help as many people as possible. But in the meantime, we love y'all. Thanks so much for the support, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.